Welcome to our channel. Many people think that being quiet or shy means you can never become a good speaker. But this is not true. In fact, some of the most powerful speakers start as quiet people. First, being shy is not a weakness. It simply means you think more and speak less. Quiet people often observe better and understand things deeply. This is actually a strong quality, not a weak one. Second, confidence can be learned. Speaking is a skill, not something you are born with. With daily practice, small steps, and simple conversations, anyone can build confidence. Third, your voice can change your life. When you learn to express your thoughts clearly, you gain respect, opportunities, and confidence. Good communication can open doors in studies, career, and personal life. Let's understand this with a simple story. There was a boy named Ali. He was very quiet in school and avoided speaking in class. He felt nervous every time he had to talk. One day, he decided to change. He started speaking a little every day. First, in front of a mirror, then with friends. Slowly, his fear reduced. After some time, he became confident and started speaking clearly in front of others. People started listening to him with respect. The lesson is simple. Quiet people can become powerful speakers. Remember, shyness is not weakness. Confidence is a skill you can learn. Your voice can change your future. Shyness is something many people feel, especially when speaking in front of others. But it is not a permanent weakness. It is just a habit of the mind that can change with practice. First, shyness is often fear of judgment. You worry about what others will think or say about you. This fear stops you from speaking freely and expressing your real thoughts. Second, it leads to overthinking every word. Before speaking, you try to think too much about sentences, grammar, or mistakes. This makes you slow and nervous. Third, it comes from lack of speaking practice. When you don't speak often, your confidence stays low. Your brain is not used to expressing ideas out loud, so speaking feels difficult. There was a boy named Ali. He was very shy and never spoke much in class. He always worried about making mistakes, so he stayed silent. One day, he decided to change. He started speaking small sentences every day, even if he made mistakes. Slowly, he stopped overthinking and gained confidence. After some time, he became more comfortable speaking in front of others. The lesson is simple. Shyness is not permanent. Remember, fear of judgment creates shyness. Overthinking stops fluency. Practice removes fear. Many English learners think they must speak perfect grammar before they can talk. But in real life, confidence is more important than perfection. First, clear communication wins. People understand you when your message is simple and clear. You don't need perfect sentences to express your ideas. Second, mistakes are normal. Everyone makes mistakes while learning a language. Even fluent speakers were once beginners. Mistakes are not failure. They are part of learning. Third, courage builds fluency. When you speak without fear, your fluency improves naturally. If you are afraid of making mistakes, you will stay silent. But when you speak bravely, you learn faster and gain real confidence. There was a student named Ali. He knew many grammar rules, but he was always afraid of making mistakes, so he rarely spoke English. Another student, Hamza, spoke more often. He made mistakes, but he did not stop. Slowly, his speaking became more natural and fluent. After some time, Hamza became more confident in speaking English, while Ali stayed silent. The lesson is simple. Confidence is more powerful than perfection. Remember, clear communication is more important than perfect grammar. Mistakes are part of learning. Courage creates fluency. Speaking slowly is one of the simplest ways to improve your English communication. It helps you sound more confident and understandable. First, slow speech sounds confident. When you speak slowly, people can clearly understand your words. It shows that you are calm and in control of what you are saying. Second, it gives your brain time. If you speak too fast, your mind gets confused and you may forget words. Speaking slowly helps your brain think and form correct sentences. Third, it improves pronunciation. When you take your time, you can pronounce words more clearly. This helps others understand you better and improves your overall speaking skills. There was a student named Ali. He used to speak English very fast, and people often did not understand him. He also felt nervous because he rushed his words. One day, he decided to slow down. He started speaking carefully and clearly, even if it felt unusual at first. Slowly, his communication improved. After some time, people started understanding him easily, and he also felt more confident while speaking. The lesson is simple. Slow speech creates strong communication. Remember, slow speaking builds confidence. It gives your brain time to think. It improves pronunciation and clarity. When you speak slowly and clearly, your English becomes more powerful and effective. Eye contact is a simple but powerful skill in communication. It can change how people see you and how well they understand you. First, it shows confidence. When you look at someone while speaking, it shows that you are sure of yourself. It makes your words feel stronger and more believable. Second, it builds trust. People trust you more when you make natural eye contact. It shows that you are honest and focused on the conversation. Good eye contact helps create a strong connection between people. Third, it keeps attention. When you maintain eye contact, the listener stays more focused on what you are saying. It reduces distractions and makes your communication more effective. There was a student named Ali. When he spoke to others, he always looked down or away. Because of this, people thought he was nervous and not confident. One day, he decided to improve. He started practicing eye contact slowly with friends and family. At first, it felt uncomfortable, but he continued. After some time, he became more confident, and people started listening to him more carefully and respecting his words. The lesson is simple. Eye contact makes communication stronger. Remember, eye contact shows confidence. It builds trust with others. It helps keep attention on your words. Many people think that big and difficult words make them sound smarter. But in real communication, simple words are more powerful and effective. First, simplicity is powerful. When you use easy language, people understand you quickly. You don't need complicated words to express strong ideas. Simple speech is clear and direct. Second, easy words are effective. If your listener understands you easily, your message becomes more successful. The goal of communication is not to impress people, but to make them understand you. Third, clarity beats complexity. A clear message is always better than a confusing one. Even if your English is simple, if people understand your idea, your communication is strong. There was a student named Ali. He tried to use very difficult English words to sound smart. But people often did not understand him. One day, he changed his style. He started using simple words and short sentences. Now, people understood him easily, and his confidence also improved. After some time, he became a better speaker, not because his words were big, but because his message was clear. The lesson is simple. Simple English is strong English. Remember, simplicity is powerful. Easy words are more effective. Clarity is better than complexity. Overthinking is one of the biggest reasons people cannot speak English confidently. It blocks natural flow and creates fear in your mind. First, speak before doubting. Don't wait for perfect sentences in your mind. If you think too much, you will lose confidence. Just start speaking with simple words and improve while talking. Second, accept small mistakes. Mistakes are normal in learning. You don't need perfect English to communicate. Every mistake is a step toward improvement, not failure. Third, focus on connection. The goal of speaking is not perfection, it is understanding. If the other person understands your message, your communication is successful. There was a student named Ali. He always overthought before speaking English. He wanted perfect sentences, so he often stayed silent. One day, he decided to change. He started speaking without worrying about mistakes. At first, he made errors, but he kept going. Slowly, he became more confident. People understood him better, and his speaking improved naturally. The lesson is simple. Overthinking stops fluency. Remember, speak before you doubt yourself. Mistakes are part of learning. Focus on real communication. Asking good questions is a simple but powerful communication skill. It helps you speak more naturally and feel more confident in conversations. First, it keeps conversations flowing. When you ask questions, the other person keeps talking, and you don't feel stuck. This makes the conversation smooth and easy. Second, it shows interest. Good questions tell people that you are listening and care about what they are saying. This builds a positive connection between you and others. Third, it reduces pressure. Instead of thinking too much about what to say next, you can simply ask a question. This takes the pressure off your mind and makes speaking easier. There was a student named Ali. He often felt nervous in conversations because he didn't know what to say. He would stay silent and feel uncomfortable. One day, he learned to ask simple questions like, "What do you think?" or "How was your day?" Slowly, conversations became easier for him. After some time, he became more confident and relaxed. While speaking, the lesson is simple. Good questions make communication easy. Remember, questions keep conversations alive. They show interest in others. They reduce speaking pressure. Many people start their journey with fear and silence. But with practice, anyone can become confident. First, there was fear and silence. A young boy named Ali was very shy. He avoided speaking in class and felt nervous when people looked at him. Second, he started daily speaking practice. One day, he decided to change. He began speaking small sentences every day. He practiced in front of a mirror, talked to himself in English. Third, he started growing confidence. With daily practice, his fear slowly reduced. He began speaking more clearly and more often. Over time, speaking English became easier and more natural for him. At first, Ali could not even say a few sentences without feeling nervous. But he kept practicing a little every day. Slowly, his voice became stronger, and his fear became smaller. After some time, he was able to speak in front of others without fear. He was not perfect, but he was confident. The lesson is simple. Practice turns fear into confidence. Remember, fear and silence are normal at the start. Daily practice changes everything. Confidence grows step by step. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build with practice over time. First, repetition builds comfort. When you do the same thing again and again, it starts to feel easy. Speaking, reading, or practicing English regularly removes fear and makes you more comfortable. Second, small steps matter. You don't need to do big things at once. Even small daily practice, like speaking a few sentences or learning a few words, helps you improve. Third, progress is gradual. Confidence does not grow in one day. It develops slowly with time and effort. If you keep practicing, you will notice improvement, little by little. There was a student named Ali. At first, he was very nervous when speaking English. He avoided speaking because he lacked confidence. Then, he started practicing a little every day. He repeated simple sentences and spoke slowly, even when he made mistakes. There was a student named Ali. He used to think he needed to talk a lot to be confident. But most of the time, he spoke without thinking and later regretted it. One day, he decided to stay calm and speak only when needed. He started listening more and speaking less, but with better thoughts.